What's going on, everybody? It is the pre-trip. What's up? I am Lockoutmen, and this part of the show is just for the replay people. You know what I'm saying? The people that just come in and they click on that replay and they just hear us talking. Me and my special guest tonight. So we just waiting for a few people to come up into the stream. You know, as RVT says, oh, just waiting for the stream to settle in. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do it over here on the Lockoutmen podcast show. So, special guest this evening. What's going on, little lady?
No, not much. Just chilling in my bed.
Where are you right now?
I'm in Pendleton, Oregon, at the Arrowhead truck stop at the bottom of Grapevine.
All right, so Oregon. So that's like what, the northwest over there?
More like the southeast.
Oh, the south. All right, so this. Well, wait. I thought Oregon was on the west coast. Well, on the west side of the map.
Well, it is. The state is in the northwest. I'm on the southeast part of the state, Pendleton.
Oh,
I thought I got a little confused there.
Okay. So are you over there all the time? Like, is that your run lane, or are you over the road? Or?
No, I'm over the road. I go everywhere. Well,
okay.
Except for the northeast, but that's a choice.
That's everybody's choice, yo.
Yeah, they just don't pay you enough to go deal with that shit.
Well, you know, I just got finished. I did a video or a made the call today. The video will probably be up until next week. But I called them today, and the young lady was telling me that, you know, there's no force areas that they'll force you to go. So they're not a force dispatch type company, with the exception of PA. But if you want to go up in the into the northeast, if you want to go up into New York, Bronx, all that other shit, they'll give you an extra $50. I told her,
is all they
that's all. She was like $50. I was like, $50.
$50.
Like,
yeah.
I was like, hold on right quick. I gave her the buzzer. I said no. I said, you know what, guys? I said, you know what you can do? You can save that for somebody that wants to go up in the northeast.
The only people that I know that like going up there are the people that live up there. They're used to it. It don't scare them, you know. They're from there. They know it. I don't.
So when you started back in the day, did you go up there to at least experience it?
Yes. I waited until I'd been driving for about 2 years before I went up there. I thought, oh, well, it shouldn't be a problem now because I've been everywhere else, and I hated it. I've been in New York as a tourist before. I flew up there in a plane, and that was fun, but I would never take a big truck there again.
But you know what? I drove to New York as a tourist, so I know.
Man.
I know the traffic. I know the traffic there as a four-wheeler.
Have you been in a cab in New York City? That is the scary shit. I was texting my dad telling him I love him and that if I die to remember me.
Oh my God.
And like, it wasn't even as a joke. Like, I meant that shit.
Oh my God. You testing your dad like, yo, this is the last time.
Yeah, I was like 19 years old. I was scared shitless.
So my peoples. So I was married once.
Oh yeah.
But my peoples went up there. My son was young. She went up there with her cousin and her daughter. And I wake up in the morning. I get the call. Ring. Oh man, what's up? Wait, y'all having a good time? No, we're not having a good time right now. I need you to call a cab. Wait, you need me to do what? I need you to call a cab. I was like, yo, why am I calling the cab for? Wait, where are you? You in New York, right? Yes, I need you to call a cab in New York. I was like, sis, I was like, no, how the hell I'm going to call a cab for you to thousands of miles away? I said, what happened? Well, they got off the bus. They went up there for, they went up there for the what do you call those districts? The warehouse district. They
Or
went up.
in industrial area.
Right, right. So they decided instead of being with the people, they decided to go to Coney Island. I'm like, wait, I thought y'all went up there to go shopping, not to go to Coney Island or Coney Island. Well, we thought it would be a good idea to go to Coney Island. We got a cab down here, but all the other cabs won't bring us back to Manhattan. I was like, "Are you serious?" It was like, "No, every cab that we wave down says that they will not take us back to Manhattan." I said, "You got to be kidding me." I was like, "They took
That's
you down there,
interesting.
right?" Yeah, I said they took you down there, right? Now this is years ago before Uber. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I figured it had to be because.
Yeah, this is before Uber. This is when cabs, the motherfucking cabs had fucking attitudes like, yo, we ain't
Mhm.
going nowhere. But now since Uber's in effect, oh, they'll take you anywhere that you want to go, you know?
Yeah.
So she was telling me, she was like, yo, I don't get it. I don't understand why we can't get back to Manhattan. I was like, well, look, I'll see what I can do for you on my end. I mean, I don't know what I can do. Hopefully, you get back in time to get on the bus. If not, then yeah, I will probably have to foot for a plane or a Greyhound or something. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
they hopped on the trains and they barely like at the nick of fucking time that they got back to the bus and got back home.
Dang, that was a close
Yeah.
one. That
Yeah.
would have scared the shit out of me. You know, when I went, it was not that long ago, but I was like 1920, so it was almost 10 years ago. The hotel room 10 years ago was like $200 a night for like this shitty hotel with bed bugs in the
Wow.
middle of I think it was Queens.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, and that was
That's
10
crazy.
years ago. I don't even want to know how much they'll charge you now, especially with the
Well,
COVID shit.
well, when we went there, I found one. I found the hotel that was like $150 or some shit like that.
Mhm.
And it was pretty decent. I couldn't complain, but it was pretty decent. But yeah, you gotta break out the motherfucking CSI lights, those little blue lights and
Mhm.
shit. You gotta break them.
Make sure there ain't no fucking blood and
Yeah,
hooker
yeah,
fluids
yeah,
all over the bedding.
yeah. I had that damn song in my head when I was doing it too, like, who are you? Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm over here like I'm over here like, okay, we're good. We're good. All right. So check this
That's
out.
funny.
Instead of giving the quick questions by
Okay.
Pod Deck, that's what this pre-trip is brought to you by. I have what is called this or that truckers edition. Yes, sir.
Uh
So
oh.
check it out. The first
Okay.
one. Which one loves Petro, Flying J, or Pilot?
Love.
Why?
The rewards program is much better, or at least it used to be. Pilot's really coming up a close second nowadays, but my dad's a trucker, as I've told you before, and he's always preferred the loves, and I don't know, I'm biased because of it. But you fuel up and you get the free coffee, you get the free drink, you get the free shower, You get more points when you fuel with them. They've always stacked their points. It's not a new thing for Loves, you know. The more you fuel, the more points you get per gallon. Like that's been a thing at Loves for forever.
That's what's up. I fuss with Loves.
And they never charge you for parking. And now they have dog parks.
They got oh yeah. And the rest of them don't. I know there's
most of them do now.
Not a pilot, but I know Petrol got a dog park. But
some of them do, yeah.
The majority of the Loves, though, I fuck with Loves for the same reasons that you just said. You know, the free park. We don't have to worry about coming in and half
being chased off.
Yeah, and half the parking lot is being reserved for.
Yeah, ain't that some bullshit? Like I understand if they want to do 10 or 15 reserved spots, but when it's over half the parking lot, that's some bullshit.
Exactly. All right, Volvo's Freightliner, Kenworth, or a Mack?
Company truck, or am I buying it?
Well, let's go with company as your company.
Company truck. I like the Freightliners.
You like the Freightliners? So all right, the freight
because because their stock interiors have a lot more storage space for like just your standard company truck than say a Kenworth. Even though the Kenworth's a much more comfortable ride, I can deal with the slightly more bumpy ride for the storage space I get in the Cascadia. If I was buying a truck, it'd be a Peterbilt 579.
There you go. That's what's up. All right. Food selection: Iron Skillet or Denny's?
Neither. I think Denny's if I had to pick.
So you'll fuck with Denny's and not Iron Skillet?
I mean, Iron Skillet it all just tastes like gravy. You know what I mean?
Well,
at first, your first year it's like, ooh, homemade food. But my mom's a great cook, and Iron Skillet don't taste like homemade food to me.
Exactly. I think Denny's. I fuck with Denny's.
Yeah, if I have to choose between them, Denny's.
Denny's because of the
breakfast. And the coffee's good.
The 10%. I get 10%.
Oh yeah. They do. They got the CDL discount.
Yeah,
it's always a good reason to support a business. They're supporting us.
I fuck with them. All right, McDonald's or Arby's?
Arby's.
McDonald's, man. I'm gonna have to give you the buzzer. I can't mess with it. Somebody else said Arby's too. I need to fuck with that.
Curly fries.
I need. Well, I fuck with the patty cake or the home for the hash cake or whatever the fuck they call that. That's what I meant. I mess with that. All right, go home every week or stay out for a month?
Stay out for a month.
Why?
Because I am single, no kids, and I like to make money.
Oh, there you. Oh, okay. We got it. Oh, okay. Hold on, right quick. Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation. I grew up playing the PlayStation. I have no idea how to play an Xbox.
Well, I'm an Xbox fan myself, but I have to turn around. I had to. Well, no, there we go. I did work with the PlayStation this year, man, because the PlayStation 5 looks so damn good. But I'm gonna wait. I want to wait until I get it. Hopefully, I am good enough. You know what I'm saying? I hope that I've been a good boy and maybe I can get it for. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully the L.O.M community could get it for me.
Well, I guess we'll find out, huh?
Right?
I'm sticking to the PlayStation 4 until they come out with a game I can't live without for the PlayStation 5.
God. All right, last question. Greyhound or plane?
Can I drive?
Hey, there
plane,
you go.
Plane.
Oh, you go with the plane?
Yeah, I'll go with the plane.
Yeah, because
I Greyhound bus.
I would drive. See, I can't mess with the Greyhound. I can't.
If a company wanted to hire me and they were giving me a Greyhound ticket, I will not work for them.
Well, no, you could probably tell them to take that Greyhound ticket and put it towards the car that you're gonna drive up there.
They aren't gonna buy me a car. They don't, or a rental. they don't respect me enough to pay me well as a driver. That's just how I feel about it.
Ooh, we're gonna have to jump right into that. And as a matter of fact, let's jump into the show.
All you have to do is stay a minute, just take your time. The clock is ticking, so stay. All you have to do is stay.
What's going on, everybody? Lockoutmen back again with another one for that ass. Welcome back to the Lockoutmen podcast show. Thank you for coming. If you guys like content like this and more, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that bell and that all button. I'm looking for a PlayStation for Christmas so you can hook a brother up with some coffee. You know what I'm saying? The Cash App and the coffee app is in the description. It's in the description below. In this episode, we have a young lady. Yes, we have a young lady that comes to us. She wants to say, "Hey, Lockout, I want to talk about my experience too." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, hey, come on in, and we'll talk about it." The young lady that we're gonna bring to the show this evening, Miss Ladybug. How are you today?
I'm good.
All right. Look like you got your little, what's that, a pet chihuahua right there or something?
Yeah, this is my, which way do I go? This is my Lila.
Oh, okay. How old is she?
She is just a little bit over a year.
Okay. So you told me that you got two of them in there. So how is it riding? Oh, okay. Now, is that a boy?
Yes, that's my boy. That's my beagle. He is almost 10.
Okay. How is it riding with animals? Like, now listen, I seen one guy, and he was like a mess. I mean, his truck, it was a mess. And he had like a big ass German Shepherd in there. Now, as far as the guy go, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of like nasty. But how do you keep everything clean and sanitary in your truck?
I clean my truck every day, morning and night. I have an air gun. I blow out the fur. I've got a little handheld vacuum. I have something called a Furminator, which you can buy on Amazon, and I give them a good brush down every now and then to get rid of all that loose fur. And I use a lot of dryer sheets when I do my laundry.
Okay.
You're constantly cleaning when you have dogs. If you're too lazy to clean, just don't have a dog. Febreze is your best friend.
You say don't have a dog if you're too lazy to clean.
Yeah, because you have to clean. Otherwise, you're covered in fur. You're going into your shippers, receivers covered in fur. I keep, lint rolls and shit.
Okay, that's what's up. And how long you been driving?
6 years.
Okay, that's what's up. Let's go back to your story, man. But before we get into that, let me welcome everybody from the L.O.M community up in here. Melitha, what's going on? Father D, he says we're up in here. The world is mine. He says Manhattan, that's my borough. You can have it, bro. I'm not trying to.
He can keep it. I ain't fighting him for it.
Resto, what's going on, my brother? Melitha says NY is nasty, period. You know what? I gotta agree. New York, like the New York City is so fucking nasty. And they got groundhog rats. They don't have regular rats down there, like the little rats that we got up here, up in the north where I'm at. We got like little rats. No, they got gopher-sized rats outside, man. And you got.
I'm so glad I've never seen one of those.
Oh my god,
that's bigger than Lila.
Oh my god, don't walk your Chihuahua down there because they would get killed by it. Man.
I get scared walking them in Florida because of all the gators.
But it is so fucking nasty. They keep the garbage outside. It's for a city, for everybody that wants to go there to like quote unquote make it, it is the dirtiest, crowdest,
If you're trying to
nasty.
make it, don't need to be doing it in a city because there's a million other people trying to make it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Let's see. Resto says, don't say that to my boy D Nitty. Yeah, D Nitty, he's from Queens. He's used to New York. Malitha, let's see. Malitha says neither. Malitha says hello, Ladybug. And
Hi.
Resto says they got cat rats. Bruh, they don't have no cat rats, bruh. They got gopher rats down there, man. I mean, they rat like this big, bro. And I mean, and they ain't scared of you either. It's like usually how the little ones that be running away from you when you come up to them and shit, like you about to smash the fuck out of them. Them big ass gopher rats be like, try something.
Yeah, I ain't fucking with no rats that big. I'll turn around and walk the other direction and mind my own fucking business.
And Teddy the trucker stepped up in the building. What's going on, Teddy the trucker? All right.
Hi, Teddy.
So what's your backstory, Ladybug? Talk to me.
All right. Well, my dad is a trucker. My grandpa was a trucker. My uncle was a trucker, and my cousin. We got a family that's not blood related who are all, just part of the family. They come like brother, not brother kind of thing. They're all truckers. I went to college first because my dad did not want me to be a trucker. And I got my associate's degree in medical assisting. I tried it for about 6 months and I hated it. The white collar work thing's just not good for somebody like me who grew up, kind of in a trucker family. I couldn't cuss anymore. I couldn't get my nails done, which I don't really anymore anyway, but I couldn't have my tattoos showing. I just couldn't be myself, and I didn't like it, and I really wasn't making that much money, and I had a lot of debt from going to school, from financial aid and stuff. And I finally told my dad, I'm not gonna be able to really stop thinking about it till I try it. So I went and I got my CDL permit, and I said, okay, I got the permit. Are you gonna teach me how to drive? And he looked me dead in the eye, and he said no. And at first, I thought he was kidding. No, he said no. And I asked him why not. And he basically said that because I'm his kid, he will expect more out of me than anybody else he's ever trained before, and he doesn't want to put that much pressure on me. So what I ended up doing was I went to Swift, and I got my CDL through a mega carrier.
Wait, what was that again? What was that again?
I got my foot in the door at Stop Whining, I'm fucking trying.
Hold on, you said, well, I got my
Well, it's embarrassing. No, not really. They were a good company for getting your foot in the door. They did,
Swift is not that bad though. I mean, Swift is not that bad as far as you want to get
your foot in the door.
But how was okay? So hold up on the family story part. What was your experience with Swift as far as getting in the door?
I will not talk shit about them as far as getting my foot in the door because they helped me out a lot. I went to the West, or no, it was just regular Memphis. I guess it's a terminal. It was their Memphis terminal. They put me in a hotel with another trainee. She's still one of my best friends now. And we went through the school together. They taught us how to shift gears, which I'd never shifted gears in my life. They taught us how to back up the truck. I wish that, I don't know, for the backing part, one of the things I know is true about most Swift trainees is they come out of school really not that great at backing, myself included, and I never really knew what it was I was doing wrong, and nobody there could really explain it to me. And then I was at a Home Depot distribution center, and this yard dog took 15 minutes out of his day to show me a thing or two, and I never had a problem with it after that. And I don't think it was really the trainer's fault. I just think everybody's different, and there's a moment where it clicks, Okay. But
But
I was there for 6 weeks.
as far as getting your CDL, going through CDL school, you'll say that you had a good experience
Yes.
with that, right?
Yeah. I was broke as fuck, not making no money. They didn't pay you to put you through this schooling. You had to finance yourself. So I was really broke the whole time. I was eating, ham sandwiches and cup of noodle soup. But they get you through it if you're trying.
All right.
They do everything they can to get you your CDL.
Now, when you got your CDL and you went into training with a mentor,
Ooh, that was a different story.
What was the story on that?
My mentor was a very, very nice lady, but she was not a very good teacher. And I don't think it was anything that was wrong with her as a driver, because she was a good driver. It was just her taking her knowledge and putting it into me. She was really new to it. She didn't really know how to translate that. And I'm a trainer myself now, so I understand a lot better than I did at the time how hard it is to translate what you're thinking and what you know how to do into another human being. 'Cause it's a lot harder than it sounds, because we see things as drivers. We notice things like calculating our turns, knowing how much room we need and stuff like that. And it's really hard to put into words sometimes. And she wasn't so good at that. And she was really confident in me right from the get-go as far as my driving went, because I had just gone through the academy. And to be honest, she shouldn't have been, because I wasn't very good. And she just kind of let me learn by myself. She was just kind of there. And part of the problem is that Swift does team driving for their trainers and trainees. And I, to this day, hate that, because most of the time when I was driving, she was asleep, and vice versa. So how much learning could we really do that way? I didn't like that.
Exactly. That's how it was with me and my trainer for the first couple of weeks. He was up with me, I was bouncing off, but then it sort of went downhill after that. But
once they start sleeping behind you, what are you doing? I finished training. I had no idea how to trip plan.
Now with the young lady, you was able to finish out with her, or did you have to go with another trip?
No, I finished. She signed off on me, and they gave me a truck, and I taught myself from there.
All right. Now backing. Now at first my backing was all isolated. Isolated? Is that a word? I'm going to use that.
It is now.
I'm going to use that word. But yeah, I had, it was all issue. But then I started, like when I go to the truck stops, I would just do backing. You know what I'm saying? Like during the day.
Oh, yeah. Practice by yourself. There ain't no shame in that shit.
Yeah, and that's how I was able to get a little bit better than what I am right now. But check it out though. Don't you ever get to a place, right? Don't you ever get to a place and you look at the place and you already put it in your head that, man, this is going to be fucked up. I ain't going to be able to get this. But when you put it in your head as a challenge, when you get behind the wheel and you actually knock it out, don't you feel better after that?
Oh, fuck yeah. Especially since, I drive for a mega carrier again now. And people watch you, especially if they realize that you're a girl. People watch you. They watch you back. They start getting ready to judge you, start shaking their heads. They sit in their front seat and hold their hand near their air horn.
Mm-hmm.
Bitch. I remember place I went to when I was still working for Swift. It was years ago, and then it gave me such a hard time. That back took me like an hour and a half to do. I was so embarrassed, frustrated, worked myself into a fit, where I couldn't do the job because I was so upset. Then I went back, 3 or 4 years later, and I recognized the place because that's how much hell it gave me. And it was so easy. It was so easy to do that back that time, and it's just like, wow, look at how far I've come.
Well,
and there's places.
Don't let it, like I said, the way I do it now, like I just got finished coming from a place that that I put in my head that, look, I'm not going to get it. But then when I got behind the wheel, I started moving the truck, got out, look, start. The way I do it, I visualize everything before I do it. You know what I'm saying? And this,
Sometimes it helps to get out and walk around the space you're going to be moving
Right.
your truck around in 1st.
right. So when I used to past tense, used to train, that's how I used to tell the guy, that's why I don't train no more because they don't listen. But
after about 3 weeks, they know everything. You can't tell them nothing.
exactly. So what I was saying is get out, visualize what you're going to do first, and then put that visualization. like this dude right here, he's about to hit the truck next to him. But put that visualization to work to what you do when you get into the truck. So that's how I do it, and I do it to this very day, man. So
and some people don't know how to correct any. When I was parked at the in Kemmel, Oregon, not last night, but the night before. And I was at this little pilot, and I was watching this dude try to do this back, and he was straddling the line. And he could have gone it so easy if he had just pulled the truck to the left instead of to the right every time he tried to straighten out and get into that line. But he just kept pulling to the right, and I was thinking I was going to get out and help him. But by the time I had decided to go do so, he'd given up and fucking left. And I'm just, oh, man, I should have gone out there sooner. Because if he had just pulled to the left, he'd have gotten right in.
Well, that's what I do. I get out and help. I mean,
you always steer towards the problem.
It's a lot of drivers out here that don't like to help. I mean, if you see a driver in a situation, they don't like to help
them out. We were all rookies at some point.
They quit to pull out their phone though. Hey, look.
Yeah, let me record this dude having a hard time. If he ain't hitting nobody, he ain't hurting nobody.
That's what's up. All right, so let's go back to where you said your dad said that he didn't want to train you.
He loves me so much. Don't give him a hard time. He didn't want to, be yelling at me like if he got frustrated or whatever. He trained my cousin and my uncle and his best friend. He trained just about all the boys. And they all told me, you don't want your dad training you anyway, because when he gets frustrated, he gets loud. My dad didn't really want to go through that with me. He didn't want to put me through that. He wanted my truck driving thing to be a good experience. And I don't think he really wanted me behind the wheel to begin with. He wanted better for me, but I enjoy truck driving still. He does, and he's done with it. If he didn't need the money, I think he'd be done.
How do we feel? How do we feel about you driving now after 6 years?
He's proud of me. I don't think he thought I was going to like it the way I do. But I do know he's proud of me because once I set my mind to something, I do it. And I'm good at it,
That's what's up. So where are you from, Ladybug?
I live in Tennessee.
Okay. So how's your Titans doing? We play.
I don't know nothing about football.
we play them next week. All right.
Who's we? Who's your team?
My Browns. I'm not a fan of the Browns, but I represent them. So they got they running. So they play in Tennessee this Sunday. So.
Well, I gotta root for Tennessee. I'm sorry, I gotta just because I live there. Local pride.
Don't worry about it. We'll rip that heart right out. I'm just saying.
I won't know if they win or lose. I'll be honest with you.
All right. So growing up as a young Ladybug, where did you get your name from?
My handle?
Yeah.
My grandma, my Nana, she was a dispatcher when she was younger, and when she would communicate with the drivers on the CD, that was her handle, was Ladybug. So I took it from her.
Okay.
In her memory.
That's what's up. Your grandma still here?
No, she died of heart complications about, I want to say I was 19.
I'm sorry.
So 10 years ago.
My condolences.
Oh, it's okay.
So she's
with Grandpa.
So your grandma was a driver too?
No, she was a dispatcher.
Oh, okay. So your family is like in deep trucker family.
Oh yeah, and it comes from both sides. Because my grandpa that was a trucker was not my dad's dad, but my mom's dad, my biological mom's dad.
Okay, okay.
And he was happy as shit when I got my CDL. I don't know. It just really pleased him for some reason. He thought it was the greatest thing ever.
All right. Did you ever go out with your father when you was young, like, you know, in your teens or something like that? Did your father ever take you out?
It was when I was in my teens that he quit taking me because he wanted me to get a life. But before that, I went with him every summer. Whenever I wasn't in school, I was in the truck. He used to, when I was real small, sit me on his lap, and I'd, you know, hang on to the gear shift and the steering wheel, and he'd drive and let me feel like I was driving.
All right. You got pictures of that?
No, he might, but I don't.
Oh my God. You need to get some pictures.
I'll find out if he's got any.
Resto says that happened to me when I was a rookie. With Warner, I had a hard time backing, and I started sweating he said he started sweating in all that.
Oh yeah, you start getting embarrassed, and your whole body just heats up, and you just can't get cool enough.
Oh man, I had one. I probably had like one stressful place. It was this one place. I forgot what it was, but it was so damn small, so damn tight, and it took me forever to get up in there. But I got up in there though. But I noticed that it was a dude recording me and all like that. So I kind of got mad, and I asked the dude. I was like, "Yo, bro, says you're getting some good footage over there, man. Why don't you come on out and help me? That probably might be some better footage, yo." No. It looks like you got it. I was like, yeah. Lockoutmen. Make sure you go to my channel and put that up, bro. So
tag me. Get that publicity anyway.
so irritating when people do that. So, but coming from a trucker field, and you come, well, not a trucker field, but you coming from a medical field into trucking. That's look like it's, you know, like a far cry from it. you know,
I like trucking so much better, and it's not that the job I had was actually not a bad job. I was at a low income clinic, so you know we had we helped people who couldn't afford regular priced healthcare if they had to bring in proof of pay, and we would adjust their prices based on income. And it was really busy and crowded, and I learned a lot about just people working there, you know. And I worked in the front office as a medical assistant. You're kind of the jack of all trades. You're not quite a nurse, but you're not a receptionist either, because you can give shots, you can do like the EKGs and the UAs, which is urinalysis. You can do blood work, and you take vitals and prepare patients for doctors and stuff. Or you can work as like a receptionist and do all the front office stuff, like the billing and the insurance checking, and you set up referrals and all kinds of other wonderful things. And it was really, really stressful. It was very, very fast paced, and you know, it taught me to deal with stress.
What was the camel? What broke the camel's back to have you go into trucking?
Well, actually, it was because when we moved, I lived in Clarksville, Tennessee, and I had a good job, but my parents bought some property about 3 hours south of Clarksville, and they wanted me to move with them, and I did. And when I quit my job in Clarksville and moved down to Adamsville, there was really no openings for a medical assistant, even a certified one. And I only had 6 months of on-the-job experience, not including my externship or my schooling, and nobody really wanted to hire out someone that they didn't know. Nobody, you know, all of my references were from the same place. You know, I didn't have a lot of diversity in my references, and not a whole lot to recommend me, despite, you know, which was kind of unfair, because even though I was new to the job, the recommendations I did have were all very good. But, you know, they ended up always hiring other people, and I only came back for a second interview like twice. And I job hunted for like 8 months, and I ended up working, you know, anything I could get. So I worked at McDonald's, and that was awful. Going back to fast food after you've gotten an education and worked in a job where you're respected is the worst because people come in there, they treat you like you're dumb. Then I worked at Lowe's Home Improvement, and I loved working at Lowe's. And I figured out why. It was because everybody that worked there was a fucking blue collar, manly man, and they were all just like the people I was raised around. They were, funny, and we thought alike. We had the same kind of jokes, and I got along really well with everybody. And I realized that was the kind of work I liked. It was being around like-minded folk, like-minded people I can just talk to, like you and I are right now. And the medical field and other sensitive jobs, you have to watch your attitude. You have to watch what you say, how you carry yourself, and it can be really stressful. And doing it all the time is it's rough, and it's I had fun working at Lowe's, but it wasn't a lot of money.
So trucking gives you that zen, that peace.
It's the best of both worlds. I can be myself and make money.
There you go. All right.
Yes.
So
and I'm still very professional when dealing with the customers, but I don't have to do it 24/7.
Exactly. What was well, I was about to ask you that, but when you first got behind the wheel after you got out, from Swift and all like that, when you got behind the wheel, was you nervous?
Every day for the first year of trucking. Every day, every time I had to sit in that seat, I was scared. What am I going to fuck up today?
That's what's up.
It took that fear a long time to leave me and turn into confidence.
So what made you leave Swift? What happened?
The money. I wasn't making no money. I was there for 6 months making 32 cents a mile, and they weren't giving me miles. In retrospect, a lot of it was my own fault because I had never properly learned how to trip plan. And by the time I got good at it, I was already ready to leave. I got a job offer team driving with my friend who had gone to the Swift school with me at a company called TLI. They're one of the best companies I have ever worked for. I worked for them for 8 months, and then me and Lynn decided we didn't want a team anymore because it was a lot. It was just a lot. Team driving is a lot. We both decided we wanted to go solo again, and at the time that we resigned, TLI did not offer solo driving positions. They do now, but they didn't at that time. So I didn't want to do a lease purchase, so I went to go work for Rail instead, which was a mistake.
So you and your friend, y'all partnered up for that little duration. How was it? How was the experience between y'all two? Y'all was friends, but then
we're still friends. We're still friends.
Okay.
One of the main reasons we quit teaming was, one, it was exhausting. We were both just so tired from trying to sleep in the moving truck. But another one was her mom was having some medical issues, and she needed to go home for a little while. So we decided that was a good opportunity to part ways.
Let me go to the L.O.M community. Teddy the trucker, I believe you guys is having a conversation, but he started by saying he's thinking about going to Swift Transportation. Not Swift.
Stevens.
Stevens
are always in my way.
Steven, I mean,
this I think they're governed at 64.
61, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. Lisa Smith, what's going on? She said not as slow as Prime. WLA is a company for rookies if you live in the Carolinas. Okay.
I know what he put in the video. I don't work for Prime. I never have.
I know. I do that for the algorithm. I'm just saying. Mocha DMG, what's going on? She said, "What's up, everybody? How you doing? Ladybug, after Swift, after Swift, and after team driving, you went over to Rail. What was your experience over at Rail was like?"
Well, it's all East Coast, so they send you to the Northeast a lot, and their trucks are not only governed, they're castrated. They don't go up and down the hills. very fast at all. You put on any weight into that trailer, and you know what rail stands for. It's rolls over every hill last, and it's a good one because it's pretty true. You know, they keep you in the East Coast on all those little hills. You're going through the Virginias, Carolinas, and you're going so slow. You can make, maybe 500 miles a day, but it's mostly live load, live unload. At least when I worked there, this was a couple years back, and they send you to the Northeast a lot, and then you get stuck up there doing really short runs, wasting a lot of time. And it got to the point where I was bringing home like $200 a week, and I don't work for $200 a week, so I didn't last there very long.
Especially being out, and I don't understand
Mhm.
why companies do
And they
that.
were forced dispatch. They tried to send me to places I don't go, and they would tell me, "Well, you have to. It's forced dispatch." And I said, "Unless you're in this truck with a gun to my head, I ain't going." And they didn't like that very much. I have a feeling that they cut my miles on purpose because I was talking back about the forced dispatch.
So how did you quit? How did you quit? How did you walk out?
Well, I did a 2-week notice, and within the first 3 days of putting out my 2 week
2 weeks.
notice, they were, just being jerks. And I ended up actually finishing out my trip and just leaving the truck at a terminal. I rented a car and took it up to Quality, which is gone now, and I purchased a truck through them to take and work. I decided I was going to try a lease purchase because I was tired of not making money as a company driver, which was a
All right,
mistake. I
all
made a
right.
lot of mistakes my first 3 years of trucking.
Well,
A lot.
let's talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people learn from their mistakes.
Oh,
So
yeah.
are you still leasing now?
No. And I never will again. If I'm ever going to try the owner opting again, I'll buy a truck through a dealership. I ain't doing another lease.
All right. So your time with leasing, how did that work out?
Well, by the time I figured out how to run the business, I realized I was losing money by having it. So it cost about $1.10 to roll the wheels for any load with the truck I had at the time, about $1.10. And I started out working for Interstate, and I was getting 68% of every load I hauled. I was making good money without really having to try, but Interstate was bought out by Heartland, and they only paid you as an owner op a buck a mile. $1 a mile, and then fuel surcharge, which they thought made up for it. So when I put the math together, when I put how much it cost me to roll my tires, to run my truck, to operate, versus what I was making about 10 cents a mile if
Mm,
nothing went wrong. If nothing went wrong, my profit was 10 cents a mile.
mm. The-
Yeah. So I gave Quality back their truck and went to a different company, thinking I could make a lease purchase work after one just failed, and that was JCT. And that was the same deal. They paid you a buck a mile and made it sound really good because they had new trucks and they got better fuel mileage. They had a better maintenance plan so that if you found yourself with a problem and needed it paid for right then and there, you didn't have the money, they'd cover you and then you'd pay it back in small increments, right? They made it sound a lot better than what I was dealing with. And for a while it was, but it was the same mathematical problem that I had run into the first time. I shouldn't have bought it. If it costs you $1.10 to run your truck, to operate your truck, taking a buck 10 or $1.20, whatever it is with the fuel surcharge, pay does not make a very good profit. With the balloon, it wasn't a balloon payment. With the truck payments being so high with the lease purchase, I don't remember how Quality did it. I think it was like $750 a week just outright. And with JCT was the other place I leased from. It was $250 a week no matter what, plus a cent per mile truck payment. So it was like a 1 or 10 cent per mile truck payment. So if I run 700, or it always ended up being like an extra $700 because I kept my left door closed. And so I was paying like $1,000 a week in my truck payment. It was ridiculous.
So
$1,000 a week.
Mocha DMG says, "Is that legal? 10 cents a mile? Wow. I don't know.
It
I'm
is
thinking
legal. You are paying them to drive their truck on a lease purchase. I don't care who you work for, how great they make it sound. When you're doing a lease purchase, you are paying them to drive their truck.
I've been saying that for years.
And I learned
I
it the hard way twice.
I just need a female to validate that for me.
Oh, well, you're welcome.
Because I've been saying that for years. Everybody keeps saying, well, I want to go lease purchase and all like that.
Yeah.
But if
I
you,
still owe the IRS another $250.
wow.
Yeah.
Lisa says, "Hey, Ladybug, mistakes equal knowledge. It's nice to see other lady drivers out here. You are doing a great job. Congratulations to you, Ladybug." Well, thank you.
Well, thank you, Lisa.
Yes, thank you for that. So what have you? So out of the two, I'm not going to say failed leases. I'm just going to say, I'm just going to say learning experience. Out of the two
Okay.
learning experience, what have you took away from it?
Well, don't lease purchase and pay attention to numbers, I guess. It helps to know how much it costs to operate the truck, because after doing something like that, I've become a lot more aware of, as a company driver, what to be thankful for. So if, I work for Schaefer now, and, they're always asking us to try to cut back on fuel costs, to stay within their network of fueling because it saves them money and stuff like that. And I'm, when I worked before for companies, I didn't give a crap, really. It's like, it costs $2 here, it costs $2 here, and I didn't really pay attention to numbers like that. But now I understand why you would get 50 gallons in one state and then get, fill up in another state, because sometimes the taxes are different and stuff like that, or you get better deals, not the pump price and stuff like that. And it just made me more aware. I treat the equipment better, I take care of things better, and I know the business better after being so immersed in it.
All right. So, would you consider the least era of your journey will be the most challenging for you?
Oh yeah, that was some of the worst. I have not had that hard of a time doing my job since I stayed away from the lease purchases.
All right, I got let me see. So being a female driver out here for 6 years, have you ever been in any places that you didn't feel comfortable at?
Massachusetts. Every time I go there, something happens. I didn't like New Jersey either. I pretty much stay out of the Northeast because the most uncomfortable experiences I have had as a female driver have happened in those states. And I stay away from Laredo, Texas now, because I have had a guy follow me to my truck in Laredo, and that is some nerve-wracking shit.
Oh my God, what happened?
Nerve-wracking shit.
What happened?
Well, really, he kind of left because I think he could tell he was making me uncomfortable. But it's one of those things where if he had decided he wanted to do something, what was I going to do about it? Because we're not allowed to carry guns. I carry a mace now, but I didn't at the time. I had a hammer in my side pocket on my door that I was willing to use if I could get to it.
Wow. What was drivers like to tell a lot of stories out here. So what was some of the stories in your 6 years? What other stories that you can tell us?
All right. Well, I went on a magic sleigh ride a couple years back on I-90. I was in Montana, and I come around a curve, and I hit a patch of ice. I had zero traction. I had nothing, no traction whatsoever. My trailer was starting to come up around me. And, when you're stressed like that, when your adrenaline goes like that high, everything seems to happen very slowly in that moment, even though it happens within seconds. And I remember I came around the curve. I got no traction. I'm still going around the curve, and that truck had a Johnny bar. So then I remembered my dad drilling it into me. If you're ever jackknifing, use a Johnny bar to apply some brakes to the trailers, try to get it to get back behind you. So I started to put a little bit of pressure on my Johnny bar. And as I'm coming around this curve, I'm slowly kind of drifting into the shoulder. And I see another truck that had had an accident, slipped on the same ice. And it's a 3-lane road, and he's taken up 2.5 of these lanes. He's he's not on his side, but his trailer is sideways across the road. And I pass him within inches, man. I just wlooed right around him, just wlooed. Got my trailer back behind me. And as soon as I got around him, I got traction, and it was over. And about 10 miles later, I found a safe place to shut down and just bawl because that was so scary.
Wow,
yeah,
you took what your father taught you. You know, you took what your father taught you, applied it to that situation right there.
Yeah, he drilled that one in my head. I'm glad he did too.
Wow.
Yeah, that was scary.
I am glad that you're here to tell it.
Yeah, I don't think. Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know how dangerous it really was. It felt really dangerous. If I had the same situation with this truck, I'd have to try to accelerate because this truck don't have no Johnny bar.
Was the truck that you was in was a manual or was it automatic?
Yeah, no, that one was a manual. It was one of the. It wasn't. It was. I think it was the truck I bought. I was buying through Quality. One of those lease purchase trucks.
So what do you?
The white.
So you drove both of them. Which one do you like? Because you know some old schoolers out here, they love they manuals, but you know some of the new millennials, they love they automatic.
You're not gonna believe me, but I like both. I do, and here's why. The manual, you definitely have more control. And if you were to try to put me into like an old automatic, like a 2014, 2015, even like a 2016, I probably wouldn't want an automatic from those years. They didn't start getting to where you could control them like you can a manual until like 2019. This truck I can control. It works really well going up and down the hill. It'll hold your gear like it's supposed to, like you would if you were in a manual. But the old automatic, I felt like I was braking all the time going down the hill because the Jakes just didn't want to hold it. As soon as it went over the RPMs, it would shift, and I didn't want it to do that. And I didn't like them. But this one I like a lot. This one does a good job. It's comfortable. So I don't know. It's hard.
So the company you're at now, what is Schaefer?
It's the refrigerated side of Creek Carrier.
Okay. What do you want people to know about Schaefer?
They're a good company to work for. I get 55 cents a mile now. I just got my yearly raise. Right now we're doing a surge pay for the holidays. We're getting an extra 2 cents a mile. And if you get the quarterly safety and mileage bonus, you're getting another 4 cents a mile for every mile that you drove that quarter. So they're giving us some money right now. We do have vacation pay after a year.
How long you been driving for them?
2 years. Last month. 2 years last month. Now you say you won't jump back into you won't mess with leasing at all. But do you have an end game for your trucking journey? Yeah, as long as they stay as great as they've been to me so far, I plan to retire here. I've got a 401k, great benefits. They do the matching and something called profit sharing, which I cannot explain. I'm very I'm not an accountant. They use a lot of words that I don't not understand them, but I can't remember them. Basically, throughout the year, as you save them money by cutting down on your idling, by only getting your truck and trailer washed when it really needs it, or by using cruise control to save on fuel mileage, stuff like that, they take all the money they've saved and they divide it by for the drivers, and they put that into another account for you alongside your 401k for your retirement. They do that kind of thing, and I really like that. And if I can stay with them for the next 20 years, I can retire at a nice. If I'm almost 30, I can retire like 5 years earlier than most people do and be really comfortable. And if I don't decide to do that, then right now my short-term goal is buying a house.
Well, let us know how you got kids?
No.
All right, so let us know, a single young lady such as yourself, truck driver, how are you saving your money out here? Like, how is you building your money?
Well, I don't have a place outside of my truck. I have a storage unit with all of my things in it, and I live in my truck so that I'm not paying rent for a place I'm never at. I try to keep my monthly expenses down. So I have a car that stays at my parents' house. I have a car payment, insurance, and a phone bill. And that's, I I'm kind of bad for it. I try not to get too many like Netflix, Hulu, things like that. I try not to have all of them. I just try to have the ones I'm using at the time. I try to
I,
keep my monthly expenses down
I
so that I
got
can
all
save more. You got it all?
I got all the channels. I gotta have it. It gets
It's
bored
okay.
out
I
here. I'm just
recently got YouTube TV. I recently got YouTube TV, which is a mistake because I'm on that thing all the time now. But
that's
I
no
did
mistake
get rid of
if you
Hulu
own
because I wasn't using it.
it. There ain't no mistake if you own it. All
True,
right.
true.
All right, everybody. Ladybug. What are, in your opinion, what are some of the reasons why I was? What are some of the reasons why lady drivers quit the trucking industry?
It can be really stressful, and guys out here can be very disrespectful. And some women are, how do I put it? It can be a very lonely lifestyle. I'm one of those people where I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. A lot of women, when they get lonely, they don't want to be out here anymore. They want to be at home with their families. They want to meet a guy. They want to have babies, things like that. Things that I do want for myself, but I'm waiting until I'm with the right person who also wants those things. I'm not rushing it. So, I feel like a lot of women, they don't realize what the lifestyle out here is like. I had a leg up because I grew up going out over the road. I knew what to expect. I knew how lonely it can get. I knew what I'd be dealing with. I know how to handle these guys because I was raised by these guys. Um, you know, if you go into a truck stop and you get upset every time you hear the phrase "it's cheaper to keep her," it's just hard to deal. You kind of got to let shit go. And for
Gotcha.
some women that's hard, and I get it. I get it.
All
And
right.
I miss certain things. I miss having a garden and being able to cook on a stove and wash my dishes and wash my hair every day and go poop in the toilet every single time, you know.
All right, so
You
I'm
know.
going to go, before we get on up out of here, I'm going to go to the L.O.M community to see if they have any questions for you. Let's see. Resto says manuals, hands down. Lisa Smith says manuals are good in the snow. Do you agree with that?
This automatic is good in the snow, but every automatic I've had before this one sucked in the snow.
Exactly. Mocha DMG says, do you train, or do you have, or
I do
have
train.
you thought about it?
I'm a trainer, yes.
So
And we
you're a
don't sleep
trainer.
behind our trainees.
So you're a trainer now for a Schaefer?
Yes.
Do you get paid extra? Well, of course. You
Yeah, but not a lot. I do it for the love of it. The money's not that much better, especially when you consider you taking extra time for the backing and stuff. You're not making much more with a trainee than you are without one.
All right. So how many people you trained at Schaefer so far?
3.
Successfully?
I hope so. As far as I know, they're all doing okay.
Okay, so they still, so all 3 of them is still with the company. That's what I'm saying.
As far as I know, they are. They'll keep in touch for like a couple of weeks afterwards, but after that, they pretty much go and do their own thing. You as a trainer, you kind of want to keep in touch with them, especially when you've only trained a couple. You want to watch them, but I pretty much just every now and then get on their Instagram because once they got their training, they were done with me, which is fine. I'm not their mama.
No, we don't want to have nothing to do with you no more.
You know, by the end of I want to say the fourth week is when they're pretty much done with you. They're tired of your voice, you know. Tired of you telling them what to do.
How long is the training there? Because
it's experience based.
With Prime is like 50,000 miles. How long is the training there with you guys?
It depends on how long they've been driving. So it's experience based. If they've got less than a year, they're definitely coming out with a trainer. And if it's like 2 or 3 months, it's usually 8 weeks. If it's 6 months, something like that, it's usually 6 weeks. And if they've got somewhere between 6 months and a year, it's based on how they did on their test. The last trainee I had was 4 weeks, and she did pretty good. She already backed great. I think it was more of a formality with her because she was really good.
All right. Let me see. Resto says, my man Red K. Haller said the same thing about Schaefer. He said that
he is the reason I looked at Schaefer. I found him on YouTube and was watching his videos, and they sounded real good.
Yeah, he's
Red
over
K.
at
Haller's the reason I came over here.
He's over at a company that I had called let me see. CLE Transportation. He's over there now. So
yeah, he's not here no more, but he was the one who got me over here, and I thank him for it.
All right.
His videos were real good.
All right. So what other things, what other tips or advice that you got for these young ladies out here that's thinking about coming out here?
Oh, if you are coming alone, you know, you're not team driving with a husband or a boyfriend. If you're coming alone, bring some kind of small concealable not weapon. So mace or a little pointy thing on your key ring. Just as a deterrent. More often than not, if somebody sees that you're prepared to defend yourself, they're not going to fuck with you. Just keep your head on your shoulders. Lock your doors at night, and don't ever tell somebody where you're parked at a truck stop. Don't get on the CB and say, oh yeah, I'm parked in the back. Don't be in the restaurant. I don't care how friendly, how nice, or how charming these guys are. Do not tell them where you're parked. Do not.
Have you heard it? Have you heard of the term "don't shower where you park at"?
Or don't shit where you eat.
That's a good one right there. That is a good one. Well, thank you very much, Ladybug, for coming on. I really do appreciate you taking the time out. Hang on right quick before you go out. All right. So hang on right quick after I end the show. But thank you very much for coming on. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, you're part of the L.O.M community, and anytime you want to come on and chop it up with me, let me know, and I will bring you on. If you want to talk about Schaefer or whatever, you know, you come on and talk about it.
We got good miles and good money.
All right, that's what's up. Again, Ladybug, everybody. All right. Well, that is going to do it for today's episode of the Lockoutmen podcast show. I appreciate all you guys being here tonight, chilling with us, you know, as we have a good time like we always do. If you guys like content like this and more, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that bell and that all button. That all button lets you know when I go live, and that all button lets you know when I drop videos. If you want to hook a brother up with some coffee, you can do that, or you can just join the community. That's what I'm saying. Join the community. Let me know. All right. On that note, everybody, I appreciate all you guys being here tonight, chilling with us and all that good stuff. You guys take it easy, and I'll come back at y'all with another video. Peace.
Cause baby, once I'm gone, I ain't coming back. And you gon' have to settle with another man. But when you realize, don't be running back. Ain't no sunshine when I'm gone.